Ciego, I give you paper. No go do me Diego, my Maradona. Girl, if I lap your sueto, I'm a Farisa. Girl, your back, keep it connected, and I can follow your Cresco, Cresco. Tonight, I'm the Cresco. Pay for your waist, and I can pay for your lace, whatever your waist. Tonight, I'm the Cresco. Pay for your waist, I can pay for your lace.
No key to the bedroom. Be there when I pull up, pull up, pull up. No, I'm mess up. Be there when I pull up. Leave it there. Oh, she wanna leave it there. She let me lick it up. You know what happened when I come to be low. So baby, what you still want a reason? I'm on the way, so I say, we all know what you need. Tell me your love, don't waste my time. I want to get low, special. I want to reach ecstasy. I want to have sex. I want to have sex. What's my stuff? I need you and nobody else. Ask God if you got my help. And you can know you can meet me out here. She wanna fall like yeah. I need you and nobody else. Ask God if you got my help. And you can know you can meet me out here.
Girl, if you balance Ciego, I give you paper. No go do me Diego, my Maradona. Girl, if I lap your sueto, I'm a Farisa. Girl, your back, keep it connected, and I can follow your Cresco, Cresco.
Telling me where you there, say look, when a kilometer for your waist. Oh, gotta shika, the pretty get to shika, say me, so go shika. What is the use of my money? I'm smoking, not I gonna need it. She money for me, God, I am. You know me, I be with it. She say, baby, I got me, oh, your thing, they touching my belly, oh. J'aime l'amour fast vie, oh baby, comme ça lève pour me. Alléluia, alléluia, assassin, alléluia.
Girl, if you balance.
not lap. If you're not talking, then you don't cap. Pluto ways not the show for map. Voila, Pluto not the show for map. Pluto ways not the show for map. See, Pluto not the show for map. Pluto ways not the show for map. 10,000 girls in my room. Oh, bro, which one I go choose? Go get the money, stack up some funds. With the money, they go have some fun. See, 10,000 girls in my room. Oh, bro, which one I go choose? Go get the money, stack up some funds. With the money, they go have some fun. See, sharp.
All right, good evening. Good evening, everyone. To just confirm you can hear me.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, good evening. My name is Temiloluwa Biodun Oyedepo, and I am taking this meeting from Nigeria. So just quickly, can I know those that are on this call and where we are joining from? All right, you can leave a message in the chat box, or you can unmute and speak, whichever one is fine by you.
I'm Farouk Bakari from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria.
Hi, Farouk. I'm also from Nigeria. How are you doing over there? You can put in where you are joining from in the chat box. So in case you do not want to unmute and speak, but if you can unmute and speak. Hello, Nogoto from Kenya. How is it over there? All right, hi, Busayo from US. Hello from Canada, from Kaduna rather. Hi from Kenya. How are we all doing? Well, I'll probably go to Kenya next week since I have more people from Kenya here. All right, hi Treasure from Ogun State. Hello from Canada, Latifa. Hi Colin from Nigeria. How are we all doing? I believe I'm doing well. All right. So I'm Tim Lulu. I'm also joining from Lagos, Nigeria. Hello from Imo State. So I want to officially welcome you to our masterclass. Yes, so welcome to our masterclass. And I believe most of us that are here, or everyone that are here, are interested in data analytics. And I must say, that's a very, very good decision. I mean, like, that will be one of the best decisions you ever make this year. So welcome to Analytics Masterclass. Like I said earlier, my name is Temiloluwa Biodun Oyedepo, and I am a data associate here at Analytics. All right, so for those that don't know what Analytics is about, or like you've not heard about Analytics before, I'll be introducing Analytics to you. And in case you know about Analytics, I'll be shedding more light on what you know. So Analytics is an edtech company. Yes, so edtech means educational technology. So what we basically do is we teach. So we all know that everybody or most people want to dive into tech, and most people want to eat the tech money, yeah, but we don't know how, we don't know what to learn, we don't know, okay, if at all we know what to learn, we don't know how to go about it. So that is why Analytics is here. So we are an edtech company, and our aim our single purpose is to ensure that Africans and people in the Black community learn. Yeah, we are here to teach people in the Black community premium tech skills and to lower the entry barrier into tech. I mean, everybody wants to join tech, everybody wants to get tech money, but how do you go about it, especially when you are an African? Yeah. So we are here to help, we're here to bridge that gap, and we're here to give you the necessities that you need in order for you to land your dream tech jobs. So we take various courses ranging from data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics. All right. So on Power Platform, so most of us that are here are interested in data analytics program. And like I said before, that's one of the best decisions you ever make. I mean, I've been in field of data analytics since like 2020, yeah, thereabouts. And I must say it has been a very, very sweet journey. So welcome. And yeah, this is the best decision you ever made. So we have our facilitators, like I said, an EdTech company. So there's no EdTech without people that are going to teach here. So our facilitators range from reputable organizations like Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Amazon, even the Big Four. Yeah, so that is PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, Google. So we know that the people that are tutoring you and people that are impacting knowledge in you, they are in the field, they've been there, they know what is it, and they know what is needed. So, like I said, you are in the best place. All right, so like I said, you're in the best place. So now I want to introduce our founders and our co-founders to you. So our founder is Adeza Suleiman, and our co-founder is Efemina Ikfor. So Adeza, the funny thing is that Adeza does not have it, like, he did not study anything tech in school. Like, so if you're here and you're wondering, okay, maybe I studied English in school, I studied philosophy in school, I studied psychology in school, and all those things, they don't really matter when you are diving into tech, because out there is just, what do you know? Can you do this? All right, can do this, take this. So yeah, so nobody is literally interested in if you studied English in school or if you studied computer engineering in school. So regardless of your background, regardless of whatever you studied in school, yeah, it's not a barrier. So like you taking a new step, like you're taking your new first step. So like I said, the decision that you're making now is most likely going to be the best decision you ever make this year. So we have Adeza, our founder, and Efemina. They have been in the industry for a long time. So like they know the in and out, and they came together and said, okay, we know this, let us help people and let us impact people and show them the way into this tech everybody is talking about. And Adeza himself has trained over 8,500 people. So imagine, like, 8,500 people are benefiting from this, or have benefited from this rather. And yeah, you are not different. So you can be one of those people. All right. So I mean, we can't just be saying that we're an EdTech and we do this, we do that without having results. So that we have helped over 500 people transition from classroom into their first job in tech. So one amazing thing with that, we don't just bombard you with information and just like pumping knowledge into you. That's not what we do. Aside from giving you and showing you the nitty-gritty, we also work with you step by step in helping you land your first job. And I'm very certain that once you start this program, I mean, before your first month, people like jobs will be rushing you because you already become an hot cake. And we're not just going to leave you there. I mean, just go and sort yourself out. Even aside the tutoring and the teaching and like the knowledge we're giving you, we're also going to work hand in hand with you. Like, we're going to work with you with every single step in order to make sure that the job that you are applying for and the job that they are looking for you, get it. So we, apart from teaching, we also help you land your first job, your first dream tech job. So that tech money you are looking for, we're not just going to leave you to go and sort it out by yourself. We're also here to work hand in hand and step by step with. So like we've impacted, like I said, we've helped about 500 people get their first land their first job, and also we recognized because of impact, and we recognized because what we have done. I mean, you can see from the even the business itself, African across 4 continents land tech jobs. So that is car, Asia, Europe, and like the like. So we have helped people get jobs across all continents. And like I said, one of these people that are earning this tech company and are into this tech thing. So these are some of the things that we have been recognized for. Just some, that a lot more things that we have been recognized for. And yeah, we also host hackathon. So just to encourage you as you are learning, we give you real life case studies. We make you feel in the business world and like what a day-to-day data analyst will do. So as you're doing that, like there's also a prize attached to it. So like the most interesting part is that the last hackathon that we actually hosted, one of the winners came from the recent cohort for the hackathon. Everybody was like, wow, you could do this, all these things. So that is to make you know that, let's make you know that regardless, as you are starting, like you're already being enlightened. So that is just tip of the iceberg. All right, so these are just various places, various organizations that have recognized us. We even gave out test scholarship to over 300 women. So we are not just in for, all right, just do this. We also aim at impacting and can be one of the people we are impacting. So like I said before, about our last hackathon. So this was it. And see our judges, they came from different organizations. We have somebody from Google, we have somebody from Wema Bank, like we even have somebody from like outside the country. So to know that we are not just here to bamboozle you, like permit me to use that word, but we're here to ensure that you're actually growing and you're actually getting the value of what you are subscribing to. All right, so this session we're going to listen to some of our alumni, and that are going to share their experience on how they on where they were before they got to analytics, and what analytics did for them and where they are now. So you get to listen and get to hear from our past students that also took this data analytics course that you are about to subscribe to. Like I said earlier, this is one of the best decisions you ever make this year. So I want you to stay tuned and buckle up for this few moments that we are going to be introducing this course to you. So we might be saying, all right, why do I need to dive into that? Why do I even need data analytics skills and everything? For most of us that want to, like most of us that are here, we want like better opportunities, or we also want Jackpot, like we want to leave Nigeria. And one of the main things that help us is having a tech skill, and not just a tech skill that is in demand. All right, so data analytics is one of the tech skills in demand in Canada, in UK, in the US, in Australia, and several other countries. So once they say that, all right, this particular person has this skill, and we have lower people in our country that can actually use this skill, they are willing and very, very ready to sponsor you. And like I mentioned earlier, that there's tech money, like there's money in this tech. Like I mentioned, like there's like Canada are like they are in need. Yeah, they are in need of this particular skill that you are about to learn. Canada, UK, Germany, and all these routes are easy routes for you to actually get better opportunities in that country with these skills. So, like I said, you're in the right space and they are making the right decision to actually take up this skill and actually learn this skill. All right. So, I mean, you might be wondering, what's even the big job about data analytics? Like you're saying, the money, like you're going to earn this, or like, his money is a lot. So, I'm not going to show you the average salary of a data analyst in different countries. All right. So, in the UK, the average salary of a data analyst is 40,456 pounds. I mean, that's just the average. Average meaning like that is the I don't know, like I'm even shocked of words. I don't even know what to say again. But like just imagine having that. All right. And in the US, the average salary is $72,000. Like that is the average. You can even earn more than that. And in Canada, the average salary is 64,423 Canadian dollars. So just imagine you being in this field and having these skills and having an average salary of that. So, and average meaning that you can even have more, you can even earn more. Like I said, just buckle up here and pay attention and try and grasp everything you can grasp from here and take the next and the right step. So at this junction, I'll be handing over to Adeza Cinema, the founder of 10 Analytics. All right, so Adeza, please, can you highlight so I can hand over to you?
All right, Tim Loloa, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly well.
All right, brilliant. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Tim Loloa. Okay, and hello, everybody. Good to be in your midst again today. Another day, another session, all right? Like Tim Loloa has said, we're going to have a very brief session today, and that's simply because we get a lot of questions around how can I get started as a data analyst? As a data analyst, what do I do? What would my day-to-day activities look like? What are the types of projects, types of problems I'll be solving as a data analyst? So we said, okay, we'll hold a session where we have people that join the program from different cohorts this year, 2023, they'll come to show you what they've been able to do, how they've been able to navigate their journey from when they've started up until this moment, the type of projects they've worked on, and the stuff they've built with regards to data analytics. Okay, and of course, I'd also highlight some very key areas, showing you what you need to do. And you'd have the opportunity to ask them questions. They are smart, very intelligent ladies and a gentleman. They'll be sharing their story with you today, and you'd get to hear from them. Okay, but just before they come up, I'll quickly talk about something. I would love to touch on something that Tim Loloa has mentioned already. If you give me just 2 minutes of your time to do that before we bring in those who will be sharing their experience with you, their journey into data analytics, and how you can also start your journey in data analytics. Okay, now we held an alumni hackathon session. Okay, why is this very important? The hackathon, you need, when you learn new skills, you need to validate your skills on a global stage. Okay, you need to ask yourself the questions: how do I measure with somebody who is in the UK? How do I measure to somebody who is in Canada, who is in the US? Because you are learning not to just get jobs in your different countries, because I can see we have people joining from different countries, from Kenya to Nigeria to Ghana to the US, the UK. How do you measure globally? So these hackathon sessions are designed for you to test your skills amongst your contemporaries globally. Okay, now once you've done that, you also have the unique opportunity to get to hear from people who are in the field and are doing amazing stuff. For example, we had Michelle. Michelle Conway is the lead data scientist at the Lloyds Banking Group in the UK. She was one of the judges on the panel who looked at submissions and presentations from different people who have gone through the Analytics program, saw their solutions, gave their feedback, and so on and so forth. Okay, so when you get the slides at the end of today's session, please ensure you try to watch the recording. Okay, watch the recording. It's on YouTube. Everybody has access to the recording and see the amazing stuff that people were able to come up with. And everybody that presented were people that had gone through the Analytics program. We also had Sadiq Akintola. Sadiq works as a smart analytics customer engineer with Google. We had Sebastian. Sebastian is an AI researcher with the University of Cambridge. And we had Olamide, who is the head of data and analytics at Wema Bank in Nigeria. So there was a total cash prize of $1,000 for 3 people. And we had amazing, amazing presentation. So do well to ensure that you watch it, see the amazing stuff that we did. Now, going into the meat of our session for today, which revolves around how to get your journey started as a data analyst. Okay, so first of all, who is a data analyst? What does a data analyst do? By the end of today's session, we'll have a good understanding of who a data analyst is, but I'll give you just a very quick overview, okay, for the benefit of those who might be here for the first time. You've been hearing the buzz, data science, data analytics. What exactly does it mean? Okay, so as a data analyst, your job is very simple. Your job is to solve problems. The fundamental objective of a data analyst is to solve problems. Okay, how do you solve problems? You solve problems by helping the business answer key questions through extracting insights that exist within the data that the business generates. Every business generates data, and I'll tell you how. Let's take an example of the session we are currently having. We have 80 people on the call at the moment. Okay, now we have male, we have female, we have people from different locations that have joined this session. Data has been generated. For those of you that joined today, you're going to fill an attendance form. Some of you would have filled a form to register to join any of our master classes, and you drop different data points. You tell us your name, you tell us you give us your phone numbers, you give us your emails, you have access. Okay, I think I'm just going to mute everybody because I don't want any distraction to spring up on me. Okay, so you have different data points that you make available when you fill those forms, all right? Now, if the data is just kept somewhere without doing anything with the data, then it makes no sense. Okay, we can't extract value from that data. But then the ability to look at the data, first of all, identify where do we have the highest number of people joining from? Are they all joining from Kenya? If they're joining from Kenya, can we then target the Kenyan markets? Perhaps there are a lot of people or a lot more people in Kenya that would love to learn data analytics. How will I know that people are joining from Kenya? I would take that form that you filled, I would extract the data, I would analyze the data and see the different countries and the number of people that have joined. And based on that, I can then tell the company to say that, look, we had 85% of our participants or 60% of the participants came from Kenya or they came from Ghana. So it means that there is a market in Kenya or Ghana of people who would love to learn data analytics. So can we target Ghana? Can we target Kenya so we can get more people from there? That's the role of a data analyst. You help the business take data-driven decisions. The business would have data, but they don't know what to do with the data. So you as a data analyst would go into the business, get that data, analyze the data, extract insights from the data. Insights, for example, saying that the highest number of participants, 80% or 60% or 50%, come from a particular region or from a particular country or from a particular industry. Let us target that particular industry or country. Okay, That's the role of a data analyst. And by doing that, what happens? You take decisions not based on your gut feeling or based on what you feel, but based on the data that you have analyzed. And that's the magic of how businesses grow today. So you have a lot of markets in different areas, and that's just one example. All right, there are so many examples. And of course, you'll be listening to the beautiful and intelligent data analysts that you have on the call today. We have Collins, we have Mary, and then Mary is a fantastic data analyst. She joined the Tenalytics program. She's learned a lot of things, and she'll be sharing her journey with you. What she has learned, she'll show you some of the things she has built so that you get to start to understand the things you need to learn to be like Mary, to be like Cynthia. Cynthia has also done amazing work. She's currently still undergoing her training with us. She would also be sharing her experience with you. And then we have Collins, fantastic Collins, who would also share all the things he's been able to do so far. Okay, so I'll just hand over to, I'll see if we have them on the call. And again, please, as much as you can, ask questions, okay? So take down notes. If you have your pen and paper, ensure you don't have any distractions, and then would definitely answer as many questions as we can from you after the presentation, okay? So I'd just love to see who is around. I don't know if Cynthia is around. Cynthia, are you here? I can see 3 Cynthias. I'm just simply going to, Cynthia, if you're here, just send me a message in the chat, okay? So I can unmute you, and then I can ask you to also turn on your video, and then let's get to hear from you. I know I saw Collins earlier. Collins is here. So Collins, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself, and then let's hear from Collins, and then we'll hear from Cynthia, and then we'll hear from Mary. So Collins, if you can hear me, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's get to hear from you.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm on the call. Good evening, I'm here.
All right, fantastic. Cynthia is also here. So let's start with Collins, okay? Cynthia, I just saw your message. Let's hear from Collins, and then from Collins, we'll go over to Cynthia, and then we'll go up to Mary. So Collins, if you can also turn on your video so we can see you,
okay,
that'll be amazing.
Okay.
Fantastic. Collins, we can see you. All right, so just before we start, all right, for the benefit of those that have not met Collins before, okay, Collins joined our program. So Collins, you tell us when you joined, tell us the things you've been able to build, what you have learned, what you like about the program. And then if you want to showcase anything, maybe a dashboard that you built, you want to show us, feel free to show. And then let's have people ask you questions that they would love to ask, all right?
Okay. Thank you, Adeza. Thanks for this opportunity once again. Good evening, everyone on the call. My name is Collins Madujemon, as I've been introduced. I joined this program in February this year. For a while, I got married some 5-6 years back, and I relocated from Benin to Abuja because my wife's job was actually paying better than mine, so I have to just take the cheap pill and come down to Abuja. So for that, when I came to Abuja, I actually studied biochemistry. I was working with the state government before, so when I came to Abuja, there was nothing actually going on. So we decided that I should stay at home for a while to just bring up the kids. So I became like a stay-at-home dad for a while doing 1 or 2 things to get the family going. After a while, I now decided that I want to change career. Biochemistry is interesting, but I'm seeing a revolution in the world as a whole, that tech is becoming the in thing. So I told my wife, okay, let's start looking for somewhere that I can enter tech in a seamless manner that will not, because I've been seeing a lot of adverts online and they will tell me to get to tech, you have to do this, do this, do this. So I was a bit scared. So my wife was actually the one that went through and he watched this Masterclass also. And that showed me the video and said, please, you have to watch this. I spent the whole night that day, I watched it, I analyzed it, and I told her, I'm going to go for the full stack data analytics. And she said, why? I told her the reason, that I watched the video that Adeza explained everything. I said, okay. She said, okay, let's go about it. What about the fund? I said, that will not be an issue. So I paid. So when we started, to be frank, I don't know jack about science, about anything. What I'm good at is pathways, different pathways about chemistry, all these acetyl-CoA and everything. Those of us that are science will know what I'm talking about. So when they started introducing Excel, they mentioned, in fact, when they said I should go and install Power BI on my system, when I got to the place they were trying to upgrade my system, I was mentioning Power. I was not mentioning Power BI, Tableau. I said, I don't know all these things. But I said, let me install them. They even mentioned SQL. I said, it was PostgreSQL. They were speaking French in my ear. So I continued. So when I started the class, the first thing they taught us, which I believe is one of the critical aspects of being a data analyst, is critical thinking and problem solving. And that is where they started from. They started that class, they gave a lot of explanation about it, and I took down notes. After which, the next week we dived into Excel. And the first thing they told us in that class, when people were asking, can somebody become a data analyst in 3 months? He actually said yes. In my mind, to be frank, I thought it's not possible that somebody will not be a data analyst, somebody that don't know anything about it. So when they started that problem solving, I took down notes. The next week, they started Excel. Though I just knew, then in Excel, if I want to calculate in Excel, I usually use my biro and paper. I'll press my calculator. I'll be calculating. That is the way I used to do it. That's the way I do Excel. But they taught me different methods of solving problems in Excel. They started teaching VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, a lot of things, index and match, a lot of things, data validation, how to clean data and everything. I started doing them. So when I picked up in the class, they now entered Power BI. To be frank, I fell in love with Power BI. So as he was teaching it, I was taking notes. And as he can attest, I started going ahead. I fell in love with it to the extent that I went ahead of the class, started studying things. To the extent, even my people that we enrolled with, they were complaining somehow that it's as if I'm putting them under pressure somehow. But I told them that is why I'm here, to give everybody a kickstart. So I started doing a lot of things with Power BI. We entered Tableau, the same thing. And finally, we now did our SQL project. And when we started doing the SQL, we did a lot of beautiful things also. Now, when they brought up a lot of data for us to work on, as it is now, I've opened a Novo Pro account and we'll show it. I will show what it is. Now, they told me that there's Power BI is business intelligence tool. Also, Tableau is a business intelligence tool. They also told us how we can use Excel to navigate and analyze data. Now, any data I see now, I'm not spoiled for choice. Should I use Excel? Should I use Tableau? Should I use Power BI? I will just decide on any one. This is before from Adam, I don't know jack about anything about data analytics. So I've opened a Novo Pro account. Okay, I create notes. Okay, now you can see my Novo Pro account. I have a Tableau project here.
No, are you sharing? Sorry, Collins, are you sharing your screen? We can't see your screen.
Share my screen, please.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Nikandra, I'm coming. I'm doing something, please. Okay.
All right. So for those who might not know what Novi Pro account is, so a Novi Pro account is a repository where you keep all your projects. Okay. So if you want to showcase your projects, you want to get a link to share to somebody to say, look, take this link, look at the projects I've worked on. It's easy for somebody to access your projects using the link. So that's what Collins is trying to show us now. So Collins, show us the projects you've worked on.
Okay. Please, are you seeing my screen, please? Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen now.
Okay, thank you. You can see my Novi Pro account here. I've done, this is the recent one we just did, the project we are working on now, our internship program. After 3 months of intensive learning, this is the first project we did. And this is the next project. I did it with Tableau. There's a Titanic project we did as a capstone project. We did it with Excel. I decided we did it with Excel. There's also a Tableau project on sales. Then there's Power BI, a lot of Power BI projects. There's Risk Football I love so much. We did it with Power BI. We did it with Power BI. So for me not to talk too much, I will show you one, this Nesto project. I've even programmed it down that I'm going to show this because I love this project so much because it gave me a lot of, when we were taught.
Sorry, Collins.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to butt in again. What tool did you use to build this project?
It's Tableau.
Tableau. Okay.
I use Tableau for this.
Fantastic. Go ahead.
Now, as I told you before, I was spoiled for choice. I said, which one am I going to use? And a lot of things came to my mind. Should I use Tableau? Should I use Power BI? Should I use Excel? The same thing will go for anybody in this call now that decides to join this because it's a wonderful place. You know, the first thing that we decide to do or anybody decides to do in life is we are always scared of taking that next step because there are a lot of things, people say things that they cannot do, but I can say for sure that Analytics will do more than the things they even told you they will do. Now, if you look at this dashboard I created, it's Tableau. You can see it is this was a Nesto product, and you can see the heading is Nesto Product Performance Dashboard. It was a data set that covers the Nesto products in Australia between 2018 and 2020. The project was all about getting a lot of things for us to know what actually happened to this project. I'll just give a little insight because this is what I was taught. For example, I will tell you this. The whole total sales of the 3 years, 2018 to 2020, it was 18,115. The average revenue was $1,701. If you go on, you see that the maximum revenue is 127,969. Let me just give a little insight in this. If you look at this monthly sales trend, you will observe something here, that there is a sales trend from December 2017 to December 2020. You will observe that all the Decembers, all the sales were down. You see that the trend is coming down. It means that the sales went down. December 2018, came to 2019, it went down. Came to 2020, it came down. Let's assume I'm presenting this to the stakeholders of Nesto. What am I going to tell them? What are the reasons? I have to do what we call a deep dive into this data. And this deep dive was taught to us also in analytics also. What did I find out? I went online to find out why is it that Australians are not buying more Nesto products in the December, all the Decembers. And I found out a very interesting fact. That all November, there's this trade, this promo we all know about called Black Friday sales. It happens every December, every November of every year. So what Australians do is that November, they will stock up their products, all their Nesto products, buy them in excess because it's cheap, because on Black Friday sales, all the things are cheap. So for that reason, they will buy it, stock it up. Then in December, they will buy little or nothing. Then in January, they will start buying again. That is why you see that the trend starts going up. All these projects and more, just as I'm explaining it now, this is the same way I'm going to explain it to them. So if they now ask me, what should we do? We can tell them that since they are utilizing buying things in November, let us get more things for them to buy. And note that in December, since no sales are going to go on much, let us sell most of our produce more in November because we can't actually change their own way of thinking of buying things because they have other competitors in markets. But I can't do this before if I did not attend Analytics program. There are other projects also I've worked on. This is FIFA World Cup project. We also have a sales performer project. All these were done on Power BI. This is a Power BI project. If it loads, you see that it was done in Power BI. As I mentioned earlier, I'm spoiled for choice on what to do when it comes on which one I'm going to use to present or share any of my insight to people. So apart from teaching us about how we can analyze data, they also tell us on how we can bring out insights from this data, which our stakeholders are going to benefit from. Thank you so much, Adeza.
Collins, that was phenomenal. Well done, Collins, for that. And I say Collins is amazing. If you go on LinkedIn, you'd see all the amazing stuff Collins has been building, all the different projects, okay? And again, I love the way you took us through the trend, the monthly sales trend, to say that, look, this is what has been happening. And again, that's the job of a data analyst. The CEO, the chairman has no clue as to what the data says. You as an analyst would do a presentation similar to what you've done today. That's the job of an analyst, a data analyst. You would have a presentation and you'd say, this is what the data is all about. And I want to highlight this particular trend, or I want to show you this so that the company can then take data-driven decisions, okay? Now, one thing we always try to emphasize is, and I always tell people, for those who are Nigerians, you don't understand what oversabi means, oversabi. As a data analyst, you must always do oversabi. For those who are not Nigerians, oversabi means going the extra mile, taking that next step. And that's what Collins just also showed, okay? Now you've seen a trend, you've seen something happening. Probably the data doesn't have enough data points to answer certain questions that you have. What else do? You research. You do some research, and that enriches the insight you've gotten. And then you wouldn't just present and say, this is what happened. You can then tell why it happened. Okay, so thank you very much for that, Collins. Collins talked about a couple of tools. I'll piggyback on them when I tell you all the different things you need to learn to become a data analyst. But this is Tableau, what Collins has showed us. If you go to Collins' link or go on Collins' LinkedIn profile, you'd see Tableau reports, Power BI reports, Excel reports, SQL queries, and so on and so forth. But we'll talk about all of that and all the things you need to be an analyst. Once more, thank you very much for taking out time today, Collins. I'm sure if you can just stay for maybe the next 30 minutes on the call.
Yes, I'm
sure. Yes, fantastic. People would have questions for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I think we have Cynthia. Let's see Cynthia. If Cynthia is here, Cynthia, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and also put on your video, and then you can go ahead and also share. All right. So I'm going to stop Collins from sharing. Okay. So Cynthia, if you're here, let's have you.
Just hold on.
All right.
Can you see me? I think. Oh, yeah. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, Cynthia, we can see you. Good evening, Cynthia. Cynthia, tell us where you're joining us from before you start.
All right. My name is Cynthia. I'm joining you from Lagos, Nigeria.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Cynthia. So again, for us, we're always very particular about women in tech, okay? And yes, it's deliberate. When you see two women and one man, it's deliberate, okay? And the reason, so you can see, we have Mary, we have Cynthia, and then we have Collins. We did an analysis last year, and we also checked a couple of reports and found out that only 25% of tech roles are occupied by females. Okay, so there's a deliberate attempt by us, Tenalytics, to ensure that we bring in as many women into tech as possible. So let me not take your time, Cynthia. Cynthia, please tell us all the things you've learned. Also feel free, you can walk us through some things you've built as well and tell us what it's all about. And let's see the amazing stuff you've been able to do. Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Hadiza. So I really do not have zero knowledge about tech. I did computer science. All right, but when I got a job, I was doing something outside IT. I got a job in an accounting firm. I was working as an accountant. outside my field. It was actually, in fact, I was lost in that place. I will sit down there, work every day, work every day. At the end of the day, I'll ask myself, is this what you want to do? And then I think sometime 2021, thereabout, I attended one of the master classes. Then I did a quick, I can't remember what I did there, but I wasn't serious about it. I just did it briefly and I left. Or last year, my boss said something to me that I need you to do something more. I need to see something more from you. If you want to attain this position, give me something. I sat down. I'll come close to him. Sir, please, what are you doing? He said, you don't understand it. What is vague about this? Let me see if you don't understand it. So I'll sit on my own, the ERP we are using. At home, I'll pick it up. I'll look at it. I'll test with what I did previously. I will go back to him, sir, I think I have an understanding. Is this what you want to achieve? He says, yes, you're getting there. I say, no, then time to rush in this thing. So this particular, the last cohort, the February cohort, I got to know about it very late. It was towards the end of February or thereabouts. I know I contacted you then. I was talking to you about how to make the payment because it was so close. But I needed to get something done. I wanted to hold on to something for this year, hold on to something that, okay, I've started. So I told him about it. He actually joined as well. I brought him in and we started together. So each time we do anything, he will come back. I'll ask him, sir, how far are you going? Sir, I'm still far. How far are you going? I'm still far. Sir, I may have gone ahead of you. But funny enough, he's good in Excel, very good in Excel, Power BI. And then when we got to Tableau, he fell in love with Tableau. He was so much in love with Tableau, but I was having a challenge with Tableau. At some point, I will go to him. He will show me what to do. So we're doing it. Anybody that knows better, I reach for the other person. So it's been an interesting journey, honestly. It's something that you need to sacrifice a lot of things to get to where you want to be. I had to sacrifice. I don't go to parties. I don't do any other thing. Weekends, my work is 8 to 5. I live far away from where I work. I do 4 hours on a daily basis. So when I get home, even the mentorship section, the 1 hour class, whatever, I don't join any. It's always crazy. I can't do my assignments. My assignment is weekends after class. If I'm not able to do it, I leave it there. The project we just finished now, the Nestle project, I've done it. I did that with my system in the office because my boss was not around, so I was relieving him. I am relieving him because of how far I have gone. Because of how far I have gone, by the grace of God, they have made me a team lead. Also, the little knowledge I have brought. So I am not presenting reports for board members. They will ask him, can we get this report? I say, don't worry, you can ask Cynthia to do that. He said, oh, sure, no problem. He said, Cynthia, please do send to the director. I said, oh, wonderful. And then I'm getting director, oh, please, I'm looking at this analysis. Can you come to the other? Can you explain this to me? Can you explain that? I said, yes, I'm getting into that. This is beautiful. This is the, my boss said, keep doing it. Keep that. Yes, I'm doing it. You know, that joy that you have pushed yourself and then you are recognized, it goes a long way. But when you're doing and you feel like nobody is saying this, the first time I posted on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, I've not really designed it to be flawless. The first time I posted, somebody asked the question. I had to come back to analytics. Please, me, I don't understand this thing. How do I share link so that these people will understand? And somebody came to me and said, oh, this is what you have to do. So it's beautiful here because you have a lot of people to assist you. You have Juan, you have Temi, I can't remember her full name. And then there was the Sandra that will always follow me. She's the one calling me, Cynthia, let's do it. I said, I don't have time, I'm busy. This particular one, I just came into Lagos yesterday evening. I think yesterday, 4 p.m. John has been trying to reach me. I didn't want to say no. Because if I say no, Adiza will say, you have started again. I didn't want to say no. I said, okay, whatever, I'll just put something together. I came in and it's, you know, in Lagos, it rained all through yesterday. I came in, John was on me. Yeah, and I said, God, if I say no now, I don't know how Adiza will take this. Let me just come, present what I can present. But I know 10 analytics has been an amazing one for me. It has brushed me. I am confident now. I can sit on my own now, prepare a report for the management, with or without my boss, and I will defend it. So whatever they are coming for, this product is missing, where is this revenue? I can come and stand in front of any manager, any director. I did it. I will do it. I get a lot of recommendations. This is beautiful. This is nice. Can you help us add this? Can you add this? I said, sir, what if I add this to this report? Don't you think this will make sense? Or what do you think? So please add it. Sir, can I do it like this? Can I be making it monthly basis? Say, Cynthia, you have it. And then they started, okay, now we need to move her to another unit. My boss said, no, she's staying with me. I'm not taking her out once I get somebody else. Okay, so guys, I'm happy here. I'm still coming back to do something else, but I'm not sure yet of which I want to do. Might be business analysis, but for now, I am still okay. I'm going to share just one dashboard. I don't want to bore anybody because I have a lot, but let's just do one so that other persons can have opportunity. Let me see the one I can share now. Oh my gosh, hold on a minute. This one. Okay, so this is one of the assignments we did in class. This is the attrition, HR attrition dashboard. We are trying to determine the department with the highest attrition. We can also use the education field to know which of these education field has the highest attrition. We could do that with the age group as well. We have the job roles, attrition by years at company. We have attrition by monthly income group. And here now I have my slides out here that is talking about, we are grouping it based on male and female to know the number of males with the highest attrition, and then, sorry, the gender with the highest attrition. So if I click on the female, sorry, this is the male. So pardon me.
So it's dynamic. That's what you mean. If you click on something, everything changes.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So right here, we actually have a total number of 947 employees. And then the total number of attrition in this particular company is 139. So now we want to check the number of female with attrition. We have 43. That's the total number of female employees that have left the company is 381. Sorry, total number of females in the company is 381, and those that have left is 43. And then we could realize that the attrition by field, we have the life sciences with the highest number of attrition. And then in the income group, we have those with low income group with the highest number of attrition. Same with the age group that has, sorry, please. My age group here, the youth, the young adults have the highest number. I know Adisa is going to ask me now, how am I going to know who is the young adult? What age range? You didn't put the age range. So sorry, I missed that out. I didn't include that in this because I know you're going to ask me, why are you not doing that there? So basically, guys, there's a lot. I did that Nestle project with Power BI and Excel. I was stuck actually. When you start this particular course, I don't know what you used to start analysis, you will get to a point that you are lost. You don't know which you want to use. Should I use Excel? Should I use Power BI? Should I use Tableau? But honestly, they are all beautiful. My boss prefers Tableau because he says it's drag and drop. For him, it's drag and drop, yes. So, but for me, I love Power BI. So I'm sorry, guys, that I'm not giving you plenty information. I'm not fully prepared for it. Please.
Thank you. I think
your time.
Yeah, I think Cynthia, I think you've given us more than enough. You know, the fact that you gave us the story, the background to how you started, you and your supervisor started together, and you now have to even, stand in for him when he's not available. That shows growth and shows that, to get to that next level, you need to show that you can add more value to the company. It's as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. So thank you very much, Cynthia, for taking out time. If Joan had told me that you would not be available today, I wouldn't have been happy. But I'm glad you came around to share your story. Yeah. And I'm sure you have inspired one or two people that are currently on the call that they can also do the same. Okay. And all it takes is to learn the skill. All right. I love Power BI as well. I love Power BI. I love Tableau, and so many other tools. So thank you very much, Cynthia, for taking out time to share with us today. I know we have Mary. Mary is the last person who presents, and then she'll show us what she's been able to do as well. And then I'll just quickly wrap up by giving an overview. Okay, so yes, this program exists. Collins, Cynthia, Mary, who is going to speak in the next few minutes, should also tell you what she's been able to do, what she's been able to learn, how she's been able to build, what she's been able to build. And you see how you can also start as well. Cynthia has gotten the promotion simply by showing that, look, I can add more value, okay? And it's the simple fact that I can add more value, a boss doesn't even want her to leave the unit or the department. And that's where everybody would want to be at the end of the day. Thank you very much once more, Cynthia. I'll just bring up Mary. Let me see, Mary. Yes, I'm beaming like a proud teacher, JJ. All right, Mary, if you can unmute yourself and also put on your video. Let's get to see you. Hi, Mary.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Good to see you, Mary. All right, Mary. So people want to hear from you. All right. So Collins showed us the Nestle product analytics dashboard, where he talked about the sales trend, and also it actually showed how you can identify, certain patterns, and how you can go the extra level to even, dive deeper to find out why something actually happened. Cynthia told us about how she's been able to get a promotion, how the dashboard she built, HR attrition, showing that a particular department has the highest number of people leaving, and also the young adults and the low income group. Okay, so all these things or all these insights are valuable insight that any company, any organization would want to know, so they can stop attrition or at least reduce it to a reasonable level. So we want you to just share your own story, Mary. Tell us what you've been able to do. If you'd love to show us one or two things you've built, walk us through. And while you are doing that, also, let people know that it's something they can also achieve and they can also do as well. All right, Mary?
All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So as I was introduced, my name is Mary, and I joined Analytics this February. I was very excited to join, actually, because I met, I've been introduced to Analytics like a year ago, but I was very busy at the time, so I didn't have time to actually participate. So when I had the opportunity, I grabbed it because I wanted to know what the buzz was all about and get as much knowledge as I needed, because I actually needed mentorship in the field of data analysis and more deeper understanding. So when I got into the course, there was a lot of knowledge through the course. The Excel, they taught me how to use index and match. I think index and match is actually the best thing to happen to Excel, actually, to do data analysis. I learned how to create interactive dashboards using Excel, how to gain insights from my data, how to visit various kinds of case studies. Like they brought in different kinds of case studies that will just, turn your mind from this perspective to this perspective. you get to visit every aspect of the industry, whether it's finance, whether it's sports, whether it's products, or whatever it may be that you might find yourself, whatever field that you might find yourself. So you are open to a vast knowledge of understanding, you are open to a vast knowledge of insights, a vast knowledge of community. So I have a community of friends now. Someone like Collins now, someone that actually make sure he checks up on me. Hey, are you still doing your data analysis? Are you still doing this? Are you still doing that? So if you're someone that needs a community of people to, succeed and keep pushing, then analytics is a place to find those people with common favorites. Tool, Power BI. I actually enjoyed that class because I learned a lot from it in terms of data visualization and being able to provide insight also and use the tool in a very amazing way. One thing I learned in particular was in class one day when Mr. Adiza was teaching us, he kept mentioning something in class. He kept saying, remember, when you are creating your dashboard, less is more, less is more, less is more. And I actually took that to another height because at first I was really confused about what part of my data set I needed to interpret. But from there on, I started understanding that I needed to put in the most important part, the valuable parts, the things that would actually answer the question, and also to present dashboards that would help viewers, not just people that are in data analysis, anybody in the industry, to immediately understand what is on your dashboard at first sight. So from the naming of your charts, from the visualization, the way you present it should just be something that is very easy for your audience and other stakeholders to understand. So before I go too much into a lot of things, let me just share my Power BI dashboard because that's something that I really feel most confident about. So I'll be sharing a project I did on my own.
Okay.
Through the knowledge of what I learned from Analytics. Actually, these are things that I gained in confidence of what I learned, and I started putting myself out there. This is a challenge, a data challenge from a community on LinkedIn. So this is what I was able to do from what I learned in Analytics. I was able to put in more knowledge from materials that are being sent, videos, and constant encouragement from team members and cohort members. So I'll take you through this dashboard. This dashboard is about a mobile sales. It's covering a lot of countries all over the world. And from my visualization, you can see that there are a variety of charts, different choices, representation, and things like that. So on this side of my dashboard, I believe you can see my cursor, right? So on this side of my dashboard, I was asked to make a presentation on countries and their sales over time. So I wanted to know the different countries and sales. And when I saw that I didn't have much space to represent it, I found Power BI giving me various kinds of options to like identify each country using different kind of charts, making my visualization look more neat and more presentable. So here I have charts showing things like Colombia, Ireland. Colombia is actually the highest sales country providing the highest sales. Sorry that I'm not talking as much. So here I did some tooltips using various kind of charts as well. You may be able to see some of the hidden tabs under here. So that's where all the work has been done. So when you hover around your map here, you can see a lot of things coming up, describing the top 3 brands of each countries. You'll be able to gain insight on what are the top 3 brands that are performing best in each country by just hovering on this map here, gaining insight at quick glance without going too far or asking too much questions. You'll be able to gain any insight you want. And also here, I talked about the operators and their total sales, knowing each country, each operator, how they performed. I also wanted to know about how the cost of each operator, the quantity they sold, and their profit margin. Instead of me going back and forth to different pages, I just used my tooltip to bring everything on one page to be able to tell the story and also help others that wanted to know more to be able to understand what was going on in the data set. When they had a question, it would be easy for them to just come here and see their answer almost immediately. I also made sure to add some insights because insights are very important in every data visualization or data analysis report. So I created some insights page by page to help those that are maybe not getting it at first to be able to go and read up on some of the key things that I've noted on the page and gain their insight as much. I used an interactive slicer to help me in my analysis as well, because it's always important to have a slicer or things like that to break it down into smaller bits. So, okay, like that. And everything that is not something that is new to any of us in analytics. Once you pass through it, you are going to learn all these things. They are going to give you the basic understanding that you need to know to actually try. So you have to come with your imagination and be willing to expand as much as you want. And that's what I have to say for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary, for this beautiful, wonderful presentation. Fantastic. You mentioned two things that are very, very important. I'll just quickly like to piggyback on it. Okay. Community. You talked about community, the opportunity to meet somebody as amazing as Mary, as Collins, and Cynthia. Okay, you get to meet amazing people, your contemporaries, and you can all learn this together. Okay, so Collins reaching out to Mary to say, how far have you done this? What's going on? And so on. Mary reaching out to this person and saying all of this, this and that, and so on and so forth. Okay, I also talked about imagination. Okay, I love that. And also the fact that Cynthia also talked about sacrifice. I'll tell you for a fact, okay, and just like there's a popular saying, even though I don't want to sound too cliche, which simply means no good thing comes really easy. You have to put in the work. So you probably have to sacrifice your weekends, right? So Saturdays, you have your classes. On Sundays, you don't have a live class on Sundays, but on Saturday, you have a live class where you get to learn from a facilitator who will teach you all these concepts and things like that. So that's very, very important. And the ability to come with your what? Imagination, okay? So as long as you can imagine it, know you can achieve it, all right? Thank you very much for that beautiful presentation, Mary. Mary also joined the hackathon that held the alumni hackathon, and Mary's presentation was fantastic. Okay, I want everybody, like I said, so Mary, I'm just going to stop your screen from sharing if you can still hear me. Okay, so once you get the slides, yeah, I want everybody to go to watch the hackathon session. You'd see Mary's presentation, phenomenal presentation. So thank you once again, Mary, for coming here to share your experience with us. All right. So what we have left just for the next 30 minutes, I'll just walk you through how you can also learn the same thing, how you can learn to become a data analyst and so on, how you can learn Excel, Power BI, be like Collins, be like Mary, be like Cynthia. Okay. So I'll do that presentation. I'll take questions if you have questions, and then we call it a day. All right. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen, and then let's wrap up with that. So like I said, anybody, Colin studied biochemistry, for example. I studied industrial chemistry. And I always take time to tell people, whatever you studied really doesn't matter, because being a data analyst is skill-based. Is what? Skill-based. Anybody can learn to be a data analyst. It's skill-based and anybody can learn it. So what does it take to become a data analyst? What does it take to become a data analyst? Temiloluwa has talked about the salary projections and things like that, and so on and so forth. Mary is in the process of getting a job, all right? We've had a couple of interview sessions, and Mary has been getting, Mary, do you just want to unmute yourself one more time? Mary has been getting a lot of offers from interview opportunities from global companies. And what we are trying to do is to work with Mary to ensure that she's able to land one of these jobs, okay? Mary, if you're still there, if you're still on the call, do you want to unmute yourself and just talk about it a little bit? Okay, sorry, you can't unmute yourself. I'm about to unmute Mary.
Okay.
Yes.
So about the recruiters, so when I started posting my dashboards on LinkedIn, I started getting a lot of recruiters from all over the world, and people recommending me, even people I've never met before, people started recommending me for roles. I got reached out to by companies, like big companies in Asia, in Europe, various countries in Europe, actually. So I've been getting a lot of messages from recruiters on a daily basis, actually. And it is very overwhelming at the same. I feel very accomplished, like getting to that level. And I've been getting assistance from Tenalytics every step of the way, teaching me how to like interact during the interviews, how to face various tests, various questions, and how to meet expectations, prepare your CV and things like that. So it has been very helpful, actually, and I'm still in the process, but I'm getting the track that I need.
All right, thank you very much for mentioning that, Mary. And that's simply because, like I said, Mary is currently in the process of getting a job. Once you start receiving offers, and when I say offers, I mean you start receiving attention. People are reaching out to you. Oh, I love what you've done. I love your CV. Can we get to talk to you? That's the sign. Once you have that, you are this close to landing a job, okay? And again, for us, we'll do our best. Mary, if she's also unmuted now, we've always had to interact, following up to ask how things are going and so on. And that's how you make the transition and make the switch. So for anybody on the call, how do you get started as a data analyst? You've seen Mary, you've seen Collins, you've seen Cynthia. All you need to do, like I always tell people, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Okay, I think it was Cynthia that mentioned that while she was presenting the other time. What do you need to learn? Okay, you need to learn, first of all, problem solving. All right, Collins talked about that. You move from problem solving and then you move to Excel. You learn how to build dashboards in Excel. Mary talked about index and match, helping you bring data together. And that's the best thing that's happened to Excel. Of course, you learn how to do things like that. You learn how to, summarize data using pivot tables, build dashboards. You learn how to use Power BI. You learn how to use SQL. What is SQL? SQL, structured query language. All right, structured query language is a language that enables you to do what? Interact with databases. Data would be in a database in an organization. How do you extract the data? How do you interact with the database? How do you analyze the data that is in the database? You do that with SQL. And then Tableau. Of course, you saw Collins' Tableau, Nestle dashboard, all right? And something else I also want to mention, this is new. We are adding this to the new program starting in July, starting on the 1st of July, okay? Which is how to also leverage ChatGPT as a data analyst, all right? Now, for the benefit of those that have joined our program in the past, our alumni, they would also have access to that class, okay? So it's a new session, it's a new module we want to introduce, which is leveraging ChatGPT as a data analyst. Now, people would always ask the questions around, would I become irrelevant? Would AI, the new trends in technology, would it take my job? And I always answer the same answer I give all the time. AI would not take your job, all right? Because as a data analyst, you need to have the fundamental skills. You need to know how to interact with these systems to make sense of the work that you get to do. And looking at the job of the future, if you look at the trend of technology, where are we heading to? We are heading towards more sophisticated ways of doing things. Those that don't have the knowledge of making sense of data will be left behind. That's simply what it means. So you need to understand how to solve problems. So problem solving, Microsoft Excel, Power BI for business intelligence, SQL, structured query language, which is, I would say, one of the most important bits of you being a data analyst. You must know how to write queries to extract insights from data, interact with databases, and so on and so forth. You learn how to use Tableau. And then another aspect that we are introducing is how to leverage ChatGPT. And if you have time, maybe I'll show you just a bit of how you can use it, because people ask, how can I use ChatGPT? Is ChatGPT going to take my job? And I'm like, what the hell are you saying? Let me show you how to use ChatGPT to make your work as a data analyst even better, okay? So that's something we are introducing to the July cohort. And under problem solving, what do you learn? You learn the CRISP-DM framework, which is a framework that cuts across industries on solving data analytics problems. You learn the 5 why techniques to identify the root cause of problems, the McKinsey, you design an issue tree, you learn the McKinsey model, breaking problems into small parts, solving those smaller problems, and then that eventually leads to solving the entire problem. You learn how to, the prioritization matrix, synthesizing insights, you learn all these things under problem solving. And then you move into Excel. You heard about the index and match that Mary talked about. You learn index and match, but how are you starting? You are starting with introduction. That's the very first thing you do. So for those of you that are totally new, you've never done it before, how do you start? You start right from the beginning, okay? Right from the beginning. And then you walk your way through, you learn how to manipulate data, how to clean data in Excel. You learn basic functions in Excel, learn referencing, and then you move into more. So as you move from one aspect to the other, it becomes more advanced. You learn more advanced techniques. You learn how to use pivot tables to summarize your data, pivot charts to visualize the data, and then you would use you build a dashboard in Excel, okay? And like the additional points, the module I said will be adding, which is using ChatGPT for analytics. So if you have data in Excel, how can you leverage ChatGPT to help you get the best out of the data that you have? That's something we are introducing into the July 1st cohort, okay? After Excel, you move into Power BI. Power BI, you start again with the introduction into Power BI. Why am I learning Power BI in the first place? Is Excel not enough? Do I need more than Excel? Okay. If I need Power BI, why am I learning Power BI? Why is Power BI important? That's what you start with. So you start with the fundamental and then you work your way to more interesting things like what Collins has built, what Mary built, what Cynthia built. You learn all those things. You learn how to build dashboards, visualize the data, write DAX calculations to analyze your data, how to create data models, manipulate data, and so on and so forth. All right. You'd also learn some fundamental concepts to data visualization. Like Mary said, one thing I would always preach when you're building a dashboard is what? Less is more. Okay, less is more. So you don't want to put different things that are not necessary on your dashboard. You want to reduce all the different distractions and communicate exactly what you want to communicate. Okay, we move into SQL, which is SQL, like I mentioned, which is very important for anybody who wants to get into data. You must know how to write queries. So you start right from the fundamentals. And of course, you would dive into writing SQL queries, extracting, building a database, building tables in the database, and then writing queries to interact with that database. And then you move to Tableau. Learn how to use Tableau to extract insights from data, build amazing stuff, similar to what Collins showed you, the Nestle, dashboard, and so on and so forth. You learn all these things, right? Once you are done, this is the roadmap. You start from problem solving, you work your way all the way until you complete with the capstone project. Now, the capstone project is a project, different projects, about 3 to 4 projects where you test the skills that you've learned in class. So you work on different projects that are not related to the conventional things that you work on. For example, you work on the World Cup data sets, 5 years data sets. And of course, we keep on revamping this project. So if you joined in January, for example, in February, you're likely going to work on different projects. In March, different projects. April, different projects, and so on and so forth. This gives dynamism. And we also ensure that you look at what the market demands, what is out there in the market, what do companies need from analysts, okay? And that's the simple reason why we integrated ChatGPT in our curriculum for July, because ChatGPT is here to stay. That's where the world is going to. That's a new trend. So as an analyst, as somebody in tech, as a data analyst, how do you incorporate ChatGPT into what you do? It's something you definitely have to take note of. And we are also incorporating that into our curriculum. Now, your journey is 3+ months. Your live classes are for 2 months. And then after you're done with the live classes, you have your capstone project for 2 weeks. So your capstone project, like I mentioned, is where you get to work on different projects to test the skills you've learned in class. Once you are done with the capstone project, you then move into the 1-month internship. Okay, so the 1-month internship is where you get to work on projects like the Nestle project, where you're working on data similar to what you work on in the real life work environment, helping a company solve a problem, giving them insight into what they need to do, all right? You do that for 1 month, and that covers the entirety of your learning journey, okay? But the technical skill is always not enough. And I'll talk about that shortly. You need more than the technical skill. So your technical skill, you learn that in class, project-based classes, you'd have your capstone project, you have your 1-month virtual internship. And if you're in Europe, if you're in the UK, if you're in Nigeria, if you're in Africa, on Saturdays. On Sundays, you have something called Watch Me Do It videos. The Watch Me Do It videos are bite-sized, different concept videos that we send to you on Sundays. So your Sunday, you don't have a live class. You just have videos that you need to watch at your own convenience, at your own timing, when you are, when you have the time to watch it literally. So you don't have a live class where you must fit into a particular time, schedule. On Saturdays is when you have your live class from 11 to 2. And if you're in Canada, if you're in the US, you also have the opportunity to do what? To join 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. your time, Toronto, Canada time. So if you're in the US, for example, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. your time, all right? If you're in Canada, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. your time. So it's flexible for those who are in North America, for those who are in Europe, who are in Nigeria. You also have the opportunity to join at your own convenient time, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as well. Okay, some of the projects you'd work on, which, Collins, Mary, they've already talked about some of them. You'd work on Castro Technologies, workplace, sports facility. This is the Nestle product analytics. You'd work on this project as well. You'd work on the online food delivery project, which Collins and the team would start to see this project during the internship. All right, you'd work on the fraudulent transactions case study. Also another project you'd work on. You saw the employee attrition dashboard that Cynthia displayed. This is the case study that she looked at to build that, right? So you work on the employer tree, helping an airline understand the type of data they have and how they can make sense from the data they have. You have the legacy group, and you have the FIFA World Cup. Collins talked about this. You have education for all. This is a SQL project, SQL project, to write queries, to identify. You're going to work for a charity organization, understanding the customers or the donors, rather, not customers, the donors that are most valued to charity. You work on this SQL project. You work on the Titanic case study, and so on and so forth. Right now, all the things I've talked about, that's 50% of what is required to get into data analytics. 50%, because that's the technical skill. So you have technical plus the other additional skills that you need. Usually, the technical skill is not just enough, because you've seen how amazing Collins is. You've seen how amazing Mary is, right? But what makes it stand out at the end of the day is not just about they knowing all these tools, very good in Excel, good in Power BI, good in Tableau, and so on and so forth. The other 50% that you must have that makes a difference at the end of the day are these sets of skills. Number one, your CV reviews must undergo this CV review session, which is simply, how do you represent yourself in a paper format? In a way that when recruiters with you, okay, Mary has not gotten the job yet, is simply because those companies require Mary to be in the country. Like the one in Asia, the company in Asia that reached out to her, they want her to be in the country for her to, get to do the job. So what we are trying to do is to help Mary tailor more job searches that will be more remote, so she can work remotely rather than going to those countries based on what the recruiters are requesting for. All right. And we are starting something on Thursday. I don't know, Mary, did you join the mentorship session last week, Thursday? Let me just find out quickly from you. If you are still there, Mary, I've asked you to unmute.
Yes, I did.
All right. If we have talked about something, an initiative that we are starting, do you remember the initiative?
Sorry, I can't recall.
Okay, so you talked about with a particular firm that we are currently working on, right? So again, for people like Mary who are trying to get jobs remotely, okay, yes, we have a lot of our participants that have gotten remote jobs, okay, but how do we solidify it in a way that it becomes a piece of cake, right? So what we've also done is to partner with different individuals and also different organizations that require remote workers, right? So all we need to do is recommend, they have the interviews, and if you meet the requirements, you get employed and they get remotely, okay? How would that happen? Work optimization, I'll come to that. Also have the LinkedIn optimization as well, okay? After LinkedIn, what happened to Mary? She started to receive a lot of, requests for interviews and so on and so forth. And that's the game changer. That's what makes the difference at the end of it. So you have instances. If you go to LinkedIn today, just Internalytics, and you see tons and tons and tons of people building and putting stuff, because LinkedIn is your number one that you know how to do these things. Not everybody would be on a session like this to see how amazing Mary is. But if you look at Mary's LinkedIn, you'd see all the things she's done on LinkedIn. Collins, Cynthia, and every other person that has passed through Analytics. Because one of the things we'll tell you to do is ensure you have those projects on your LinkedIn, because recruiters will go there and want to see what you've done. Upwork optimization as well. Okay, Upwork optimization to get remote jobs and so on and so forth. You get to optimize your Upwork. If you don't have an Upwork app, you create one and so on and so forth. Number 4, navigate UK for those in the US and those in Canada. Why is this very important? Now, you have a lot of people in the UK. I want to, all know is going to work in care. All right, they're doing their masters, they do care work, and that's all they know. They work in warehouses. All right. I need to pay my bills. I need to make money. How much are they going to pay me per hour? £10, so on and so forth. Very interesting. 2, my career at the end of the day. Okay, so these are menial jobs you just do, and before you know it, time moves very fast. You are done with your 1-year masters, find yourself graduating in a few months. Okay, UK education, masters, you will learn nothing. All you learn is theoretical knowledge, similar to what you learn in Nigeria. That's the reality. So the skills you need to do the job that exists in the real world problems, organizations having problems that they need data analysts to solve. You study a master's, science master's, all you would learn is 100% theory. Take it to the bank, take it anywhere. Okay, so how do you now get a job once you're done with university? And that's why I always tell people, navigating the job market itself is one of the most important things. And we have these sessions embedded within the leadership session. Is a packed session where we have a mentorship session in addition to navigating the job market. So how do you negotiate salaries? How do you know the right strategies to take based on your current situation? If you're in the UK, if you're in the US, if you're in Canada, and so on and so forth. And then recommendation letters. Okay, recommendation letters. These are for people who are applying for masters, people who have gotten jobs. The companies want somebody who is reputable, an organization that is reputable to stand as a referee for you to say you have good character, they've worked with you before, and so on and so forth. An interview and job preparation. Mary talked about this. She's had a couple of interviews, and we've sat down with her, we've looked at the job description to say, this is how you should prepare, okay, for the interview. And we have interview sessions to help people prepare for interviews. You know the right type of questions to go in there to, you know, ask, and how to also respond to questions you get. And of course, the weekly mentorship sessions, very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, so from this Thursday, Cynthia, if you've not been attending the weekly mentorship, ensure you attend. What are we doing on Thursday for the weekly mentorship? All right, we have somebody coming in to show you end to end how to get remote jobs. All right, and this person is coming in, he's going to be with you guys for the next 3 months to work with you individually to help you get remote jobs. For those that are interested in remote jobs, obviously. For those in the UK, for example, who are trying to transition from a tier 4 visa to a tier 2 visa, or if you're in Canada, you're trying to get a skilled job that can get you to apply for your PR as fast as possible. You might not be interested in that. But the remote jobs are for those who want to work remotely. You are in Nigeria, you want to work for companies abroad, earning in dollars, spending in Naira. We have those sessions starting on Thursday, okay? And of course, you can work as a freelancer, earning in dollars, like I mentioned. And some of the facilitators, of course, I'm one of the facilitators. I'll work with you on different aspects in your journey into data analytics. Femena as well, who is the co-founder, would also work with you. You get to watch me do it videos from Femena, so on and so forth. You have Oladapo, Oladapo would basically take you end to end your Excel program. And Oladapo, for anybody who has interacted with Dapo, Dapo is a fantastic guy. Dapo works with Deloitte in Bermuda. He's a senior consultant with Deloitte. I have worked with Oladapo personally, and he's a fantastic, fantastic guy. All right. Collins, Mary, and Cynthia can attest to that. They're currently on the call. When it comes to Excel, Oladapo would work with you to get your Excel game from 0 to 100. Okay. You have Tony. Tony is a data analytics lead at Tenalytics. Tony would also work with you, sit down with you to do amazing stuff, show you how to build amazing stuff across different tools. You have Olubemi. For those who are in Canada, Olubemi currently works with the Law Depot in Canada. Now, something interesting about Olubemi, I'll mention it very quickly. Olubemi used to be a participant with Tenalytics. He was a fantastic guy, right? He resigned from his job in the bank in Nigeria. He joined our program. He completed the program, completed his internship, and then he moved to Canada. He got a job. I sat down with Olubemi. We had an interview preparation session, and then he went for the interview. He did very well. He got the job, and then sorry, I was a bit distracted with the call. He got a job, and then he was meant to be confirmed after 6 months probationary period, but he got confirmed just after 4 months. So what Olubemi does for us today is to help other people who are in Canada to also get jobs. Okay, how? By showing you exactly what to do. So this is somebody that has done it. He has walked through every single step that you're going to take with regards to you getting a job in Canada. So he literally holds people to help them get jobs in Canada today. All right, we have Mohammed, who is also a senior data associate with Tenalytics. We have Obina, who is also a data scientist. He used to work with Access Bank, but he's also in Canada now. He's also going to be one of the people that will work with you. And you also have so many other professionals. During the mentorship sessions, you get to meet some of them, and they would work with you to help you understand how you can also make that transition. Okay, the next cohort starts on the 1st of July. In about 2 weeks' time, 2-3 weeks' time, less than 3 weeks actually. On the 1st of July, the next cohort starts. All right, it's on a Saturday. And then a lot of you have been asking the question, what does it take for me to start? Mary, Collins, Cynthia, they also got this same opportunity. Mary said she's been following us last year. Cynthia has been following us last year. Interestingly, the training fee when Cynthia wanted to register last year was totally different from this year because the fee had gone up. All right, because as we see the markets move with regards to what the market needs, we also add to the curriculum, just like we've added ChatGPT to our data analytics program, right? But the amazing stuff is for our alumni, we make it available. We're going to make that class available to them so they can also participate and learn the new trends coming up within the data space. What investment do you need to make to be like Collins, to be like Mary, to be like Cynthia? £400 if you're paying in pounds, and 320,000 naira if you're paying in naira. All right, but we always have an early bird discount, which we keep running for this type of sessions where we have people who are interested in getting into the space. Okay, so if you are interested in getting started, for example, we have an early bird discount currently ongoing because the program starts on the 1st of July. So instead of paying £400 or paying 320,000 naira, you get to pay £300. So you have £100 discount to get into the class. And you can make the payment in 2 installments of £200 to get registered and £100 1 month into the program. Okay, so £200 to get started, to get registered. Once we confirm your payment, you get a welcome kit. The welcome kit would contain all the things you need, just like Mary, just like Collins, just like Cynthia. They went through the same process. All right. If you're paying in naira, you get to pay 180,000 to get started, and then 90,000 1 month after the program starts. Okay, so you have the flexibility of making the payments in 2 installments. And you also have the opportunity to take advantage of the early bird discount. The early bird discount ends on Wednesday. So by Wednesday, the 14th, the discount ends. Okay, the early bird discount ends on Wednesday, the 14th of June. All right, so from Thursday, the 15th, the discount will be off the table, and anybody who would love to join would have to pay the full amount of the program. Okay, now just to give you a sense of the number of people that join the classes, and I would love one of the people that joined to, talk about this. I don't know, Collins, if you are still there, or Mary, one of you. Would you like to? Okay, Collins is still there. Collins, in your group,
Yes.
yeah, in your group, Collins, how many of you are in that group?
We are over 70 persons. Over 70.
Over 70, fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Collins. So, yes. Thank you, Collins. And that's just for the UK African group, all right? So we have the North America, which is a different class entirely. For those who are in the US, who are in Canada. So the slots get taken very, very fast. That's just simply what I'm trying to establish. So if it's something you want to get into, you've always wanted to become a data analyst, but you don't know where to start, right? You've gone on YouTube, you've gone round and round, learned everything, only to find yourself back. All you need is to make the first payment. If you're paying in pounds, you pay 200 pounds to start. If you're paying in Naira, you pay 180,000 Naira to get into the program. If you're paying in dollars, you pay $300 and then $100 1 month after the program, 1 month after the program starts. And if you're paying in Canadian dollars, you get to pay 350 Canadian dollars to be a part of the program, and 150 1 month after the program starts. Okay, so we have our account details on the screen. Now, if I were you, and I'll make my payments as fast as I can, so I don't have the discount slots taken. All right. So it's either the first 20 people to register, or the 14th of June. So if by Wednesday we don't have up to 20 people, the discount ends. If by tomorrow we have 20 slots taken already, the discounted slots, we have a limit of 20. So 20 people register, they get advantage of the discounted fee. All right. So if it's something you want to get started on, like I said, take advantage and register. All you need to do, if you're paying in pounds, you can do a direct transfer to our account, and then you send us a message to any of our WhatsApp groups, and then we get you a welcome kit once we have confirmed your payment. If you're paying in Naira, you pay into our Fidelity Bank account. Once we confirm, we get you into the class, we send you a welcome kit that contains every single thing you need for the program, right? Now, some people would say, I can't do a transfer because I'm in Europe, I'm in Netherlands, for example, or I'm in Poland. And I'll be sharing somebody in Poland who got a job this week. I think that was on last week, Wednesday or so. It's on my slide. I'll show you the gentleman that got a job in Poland. So if you're across Europe and you can't do a direct transfer, you can pay using PayPal. All right. All you need to do is click on the PayPal link, and then you have access to either make the full payment if you want to make the full payment, or the part payment to get into class, and then you get a welcome kit as well. All right. My colleagues are on the call and they'll share all these details with you. I'll take questions as well before we wrap up. We'll take questions for about, let's say, 15 minutes, and then we wrap up. For those of you in Ghana, you can pay using Paystack. All right. So if you're in Nigeria, you want to pay in Naira, or you're in Ghana, you also want to pay with your card, you can pay using Paystack. Okay. So at the end of this session, my colleagues would send the recording of the session. They would also send you the slides, which would contain all the details, and then you can go ahead and have access to all these links, which are also, currently in the chat as well. My colleagues are in the chat sending this to you. And like I mentioned, once you have this done, all you need to do is click on the link to upload your proof of payment. So once you've taken a screenshot, show the proof of payment, we confirm the payment, you receive the welcome kit. All right. Now, before we wrap up, Benga Olagunju got a job last week, Wednesday, was actually on Wednesday. He got a job as a business data analyst. He's in Poland, and he got this job after he joined our data analytics program. And if you can see my screen a little bit clearly, he sent me a message to say, boss, I got the job. Now, the reason why he sent me a message directly was simply because when he had an interview, we sat down together, we looked at the job description together, and I worked with him on preparing for the interview. So he reached out to me, boss, I got the job. And I was like, wow, congratulations. I had to blank out some parts that included the fee, but the fee, the salary is earning is fantastic. That's all I would say. Okay. So he's saying here that, thank you, your team has been very helpful with the background check and everything, and saying they're going to reach out to me. And he didn't just get one offer, he got three offers. So additionally, he's saying he got 3 offers, not just one offer. And then he was going to pick, of course, the most lucrative offer out of the 3. All right. And Benga saying thank you for the opportunity. But of course, I was thanking him. I had to thank him and say, look, you earned it. You did the job. You got the job. Thank you for taking that step. That's the most difficult thing to take. A lot of people would say, oh, I don't know if this is the right way for me. I want to get into tech. I want to be a data analyst, but you really don't start. So that step to do what? To join the program, to get the journey started, that's the most important bit. So Benga is in Poland, he got a job. The job would actually sponsor his stay in Poland. And if he wants to stay in Poland, he can stay in Poland and, you know, be a permanent resident in Poland. That's Benga's story. And there's so many other stories. There's Wislin who got a job in Shell in the UK. Wislin has also come on board, similar to the way Collins Mary came on board today. I think that was 2 months ago or thereabouts. She came to share her story as well on how she got a job with Shell in the UK as a sales analyst. Wislin had never done anything analytics, never. She joined as a fresher with no single knowledge. Today she works in Shell in the UK as a sales analyst. Olugbemi that I talked about the other time, who currently helps us with people who are trying to get jobs in Canada. Olugbemi was also a part of the program. And then he got a job in Canada after joining the program. That was sometime, I think early last year or thereabouts. And he's working as a business data analyst with the Law Depot. We're talking about 2-3 days ago, and he currently has another 3 offers. Okay, and we are working with him to also ensure that he secures at least 2 of the offers because he wants to do the 2 jobs. Okay, the 2 jobs definitely pays more than the job he currently does. One is remote, fully remote. The other one is hybrid. All right. So these are opportunities that are available. And for everybody who joins the program, that's the focus for us, helping you make that transition. You get the slides, you get to watch all the different videos, you get to see the different, stories of people who have joined, people who have gotten jobs, and people who have been able to extract value from the investments that they have made. And these are different jobs. For those in the UK, you want to get a job to transition. I think I held a session last week where I focused on getting sponsored jobs in the UK. So if you're in the UK, you want to get a sponsored job. It's something that's first defined to apply to a sponsored job because most of them are skill-based, except it's in the based. And one of the areas you can easily get a sponsored job is being a data analyst, simply because data analytics is on the shortage occupation list. So there's something called the shortage occupation list, which shows that these are jobs that are in high demand. And if you have an offer for a job as a data analyst, then you can apply. And the company also has the license to sponsor. Then you can apply for a tier 2 skilled worker visa. All right. We had a session on this last week. It's on YouTube. For those who would love to watch it, you can go and watch and see all the things we talked about. All right, I'm going to take questions. All right, I'll take questions and then we call it a day because I intend to end the session at 8 p.m. So we have 12 minutes for questions. So I'll take questions. Some of you would love to see the platform. I'll show you the platform where Mary Collins have access to the materials that they have, all the materials they've used in class. Okay. And when is the next cohort starting? My Saturdays are taken from other studies this third quarter. So every single first Saturday of the month, we have a new class starting. So we have a class on the 1st of July, which is the next cohort. The next class is on the 5th of August. Okay, the only difference, Cynthia, is you would not have this discount available, right? So if you cannot join now, but you want to join in August, and you want to keep the discounted slots, you can also go ahead and make payments, okay? But without the payments, then in August, what I can only guarantee you is a discount in July, in June, not for August, all right? Not for the August, but we run the program every single month from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, up until December, okay? So every first Saturday of the month, we have a new cohort. 1st of July, 5th of August, that's when we have the next cohorts, okay? Imikeri is saying, can the early bird discount be extended to Friday? That's what people always say, Imikeri, can you extend, can you extend, can you? But if you leave it open-ended, people don't take action, they don't decide. And we don't have open-ended discounts available. The discounts are also limited, all right, to those who would love to join and love to join early, okay? Because either way, people still join, but they like to join at the last minute, okay? So in Mikeri, what we're going to do, my colleagues will take note of your name, and if you would love to make your own payment on Friday, they'll take note of that and ensure they sort you out. All right, somebody's asking, Awal is asking, do we need to learn Python programming as well to be good in data analysis? The answer is no, you don't. All right, now you cannot learn everything to be a data analyst. There are so many tools available, so many. Okay, Collins, Mary, Cynthia, they've talked about a couple of tools that they've used, they've learned, and they're building amazing stuff. Now, people have gotten jobs with just the understanding of Excel and nothing more. And I'll show you somebody like that, just with Excel. So not even Power BI, not Tableau, not SQL, just Excel. And this is one person, his name is Uthman. Uthman works with the NHS in the UK, all right? Today, he's a business intelligence support officer with the NHS. And all he needed to get that job was only Excel, nothing more. From his assessment to his interview to his job function is 100% Excel. So when people ask me the question, do I need to learn Python? The next thing would be, do I need machine learning? The next would be, do I need deep learning? The next would be, do I need no SQL? You can't learn all the tools, all right? So as a data analyst, what do you need to learn to get a job as a data analyst anywhere in the world? Problem solving, Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau, okay? Once you have these skills, you can apply to jobs anywhere in the world as a data analyst. Now, sometimes you'd search for a job role, and because HR always want to fish, okay? They always want to fish to get the best for the smallest amount of money. So I own a company, I want to recruit somebody into my data team. I'd want to get somebody that knows everything and pay him the amount I'll pay a data analyst, all right? So you'd see some job descriptions that are not realistic for a data analyst role. When you see that, you see a job description, for example, you see Excel, you see Tableau, you see Power BI, you see AWS, you see MongoDB. For a data analyst, that's not for you. Just move it aside. And one thing I always advise people is, you don't just use one job description as a benchmark for what you need to learn to become a data analyst. Okay, if not, you keep on learning and you learn forever. There'll be no stop, no end point where this is the cutoff. I've learned what I need. I can then apply to jobs to get a job. Okay, so I think I've been able to answer that question. Let's see, we have more questions and then we'll wrap it. How do I make payments in CFA? Solange, I'm not very sure. I'm not sure we've received payments in CFA, but what you can do, Solange, if you can make payments in using your card, definitely you should be able to make payment using the Paystack or the PayPal link. Okay, Paystack or PayPal. You can make payments with your card and then you're good to go, Solange. Okay. If you also want to ask questions using, you want to speak, you want to unmute yourself, please feel free to use the raised hand icon and then I would ask you to speak. All right. Somebody's asking, must I have a laptop before I can join? Of course, that's your number one tool. You need a laptop. That's all you need. You need a laptop. Okay. Daniel, can payment be made in monthly? No, we don't accept 3 payments, monthly installments. We do not accept that, Daniel, unfortunately. Okay. What about a person in Cameroon? Okay, I think that's Solange. Solange, like I said, you can make your payments in Paystack or using PayPal. What's the difference between business analysis and data analysis? What sets them apart? Very good question, Obehi. And I get this question all the time, to the extent that I had to create a video, and that video is on Instagram. And I think that video has the highest number of views of any video I've created. Okay, so what's the difference? And I'll break it down very quickly to you. Obehi, you saw the things the dashboard Collins presented, showing Nestle their trend, their sales trend, and showing them that, look, in this particular area, you have, because of the Black Friday sales, you have a drop in January before sales pick up again. That's something he noticed, and other insights he saw in the data that he'll be presenting to the team for them to take decisions on critical parts of the business. As a data analyst, that's the fundamental role you'll be carrying out or you'll be playing in any organization, helping them understand the data that they have, visualizing the data, analyzing the data, making sense of the data, helping them answer questions that a company would love to answer. Okay, I don't want to use any complex terms. I just want to use very simple terms to explain. A company generates data. They need to understand what they need the decisions they need to take based on the data that they've generated. Okay, so how do they analyze that data? How do they get the data out of the database? Obehi, you would be getting that data out of the database using your SQL skills, SQL. How do you analyze the data to understand what has happened for us to take decisions going forward? You'd use tools like Excel, Power BI, Tableau to analyze the data, visualize the data to tell a story. And then we can take a decision based on what you have shown us. On the other hand, as a business analyst, you're not going to go deep into analysis like the data analyst. No, you would look at things you look at the overview of the business and look at the business strategy. Where do we want to get to? What do we want to achieve this year? What do we want to achieve in the next 5 years? Okay, now based on that, you then look into the business, into the different departments, and try to see the processes that exist in each department of the business. All right, so you map out processes. So let's assume you move into the commercial department, for example. What are the processes that exist? You map them out. You identify inefficiencies that exist in those processes and find strategies to optimize those processes to make them faster and more efficient. That's one thing you'll be doing as a business analyst, process optimization, because you want the business to be efficient. You want the business to do things a lot faster so we can meet our targets that overall target, we can meet it faster. Now, part of the things you need to do to accelerate or make the business more efficient is to automate. Okay, and automation means that you need to bring in external parties, or if you have developers in-house, they would help you build some applications or build some software to help you automate some processes, right? Now, because you need to monitor those type of projects, you need to learn Agile and Scrum for projects. So as a business analyst, you'd have a quasi role as a project manager, because you're going to manage projects, automation projects, projects that would involve optimizations and so on and so forth. Okay, so you'd learn how to process mapping, process optimization. You'd also learn Agile and Scrum for projects. Okay, now because you'd also be involved in managing projects that relate to building software, relates to building applications, you'd also need to understand the software development lifecycle. So that's something you'd also learn. Now, for you to go into a department or into a unit to map out their processes, you need to have skills to ask the right type of questions and elicit the right type of information. So you need to have elicitation skills. You need to know how to build business requirements documents. Okay, so you're going to get the requirements of each department, and then you can provide solutions to those departments and recommendations and so on and so forth. You'd also manage stakeholders and you do all of those things. So that's the role of the business analyst. It is very different from the data analyst role. Okay, some people use them interchangeably, but they are totally, totally different. As a business analyst, you're optimizing processes, you are doing Agile and Scrum, initiating projects, managing those projects. You are interacting with stakeholders, both internally and externally. You are building business requirement documents to understand what the business requires, where it needs automation, where it needs optimization, and so on and so forth. You are carrying out elicitation activities, asking the right type of questions to get the type of information that you need to take the business to achieve its overall strategy. Okay, so they're totally different. Could you recommend where one can acquire? Yes, Tenalytics, Cynthia. We offer business analysis, data analytics, data science, power platform engineering, data engineering, HR analytics, and financial analytics. This session is just for the data analytics program, but over the next couple of days, we're going to have sessions for the different other bits. So it all depends on what you want to do at the end of the day. Okay. Based on your explanation, does a business analyst require a fee? Yes, absolutely. A business analyst, and that's why I'll quickly show you, because it's definitely on my slide. So I'll just quickly show you Obehi very quickly. All right, very, very quickly. As a business analyst, what do you need to become an analyst? Okay. Very quickly, I'll show you just 1 minute, and I think I'll show you that, and then we call it a day. Yes, there you go. So if you can see my slide over here, the very first things you would learn as a business analyst is what? SQL, Power BI, and Excel. SQL, Power BI, and Excel. And that's simply because as a business analyst, you also need to have some data analytics skills, because you're going to work on projects with regards to technology. So you need to know how to interact with some of these systems. So that's the very first thing you learn. So yes, you learn SQL, you learn Power BI, you learn Excel, but not as detailed or in-depth as the data analyst. That's the difference. Okay, for the data analyst, you are learning problem solving, Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, data storytelling, and then the new addition, ChatGPT for analytics. Okay, so that's what it takes to become a business analyst. For the business analyst, process mapping, project initiation, Agile and Scrum, software development lifecycle, requirement fundamentals, elicitation, stakeholder analysis, and engagement, right? So that's what it takes. And I hope I've answered your question, Obehi. we're going to call it a day at this point because, like I said, I don't want to go beyond, it's already beyond 8. So once more, for those who would love to be a part of the program, my advice to you is don't hesitate, don't take time, join the program to be a part, and then would help you through your journey depending on your own current situation. If you're in the UK, I'm in the UK, very familiar with the UK markets. I know what it takes to break into the market, what it takes to transition, all right, through different pathways. If you're looking to transition through the global talent, which could take a longer period because you need to have shown that you've added and developed the technology, ecosystem to a large extent, which would take you time to achieve. But a shorter route is to simply learn a skill for 3 months as a data analyst, right? And you can apply to a skilled worker job as a data analyst, okay? You get the job, and then the job would be with a company who has the opportunity to sponsor, and then you can make that transition and make that switch, okay? That's one of the fastest ways you can get that done. We're going to call it a day at this point. How much is it in Naira? The discounted fee, McDonald's, the discounted fee is 270,000 Naira. Sorry, I think I clicked something. Yes, the discounted fee is 270,000 Naira. Now the discount is available to the first 20 people to register, or on Wednesday, the 14th of June, the discounts would cut off. Okay, I know somebody had mentioned, oh, I would love to make my payment on Friday. That's fine for whoever wants to make on Friday, but it's not open-ended. Okay, so I hope I answered that question, McDonald's. And that's what it takes to be a part of the program. 1st of July, we start with a new cohort, helping them get their journey started in tech. For every single time we have a session like this, like I always say, always know that we want to see more Black people in tech. We want to see more Africans in tech. I'm tired of going into different companies here in the UK, across Europe, working remotely, and then you have only the Indians who are the ones doing the jobs when we can also learn this and play within that same space. Okay, so some of you might not join now, but whenever you decide that you want to join to become a data analyst or get into any area with regards to tech, I want you to remember that Tenalytics is there for you. Okay, Tenalytics is there for you. All right, so take advantage of the discount, everybody. And then I'd love to see you in class on the 1st of July. Once more, Mary, Collins, and Cynthia, thank you very much for being a part of the session today and for sharing your knowledge with everybody that has joined. Have a wonderful time, guys, and have a wonderful evening. Cheers from here, and see you some other time.